Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So in today's video, I'll be giving you guys a massive injury report for the Washington Commanders versus Philadelphia Eagles NFC Championship matchup. The final injury report is out. Also, be talking about something that Dan Quinn said about today's practice that's very important. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. Trying to hit 15K subscribers. We're close. It just takes 1 second. Take a chance on me. If you don't like the content, you can go ahead and unsubscribe after a week. And if you're Eagles fan, check in on your enemy right here. So let's go ahead and get into the injury report. So Commanders are 2 days away from playing in the NFC Championship and a little over 2 days away from possibly being in the Super Bowl. So Cosme, obviously, he will be out for this game. Jeff Driscoll, he's questionable with an illness. He's the third string quarterback, emergency guy. Hopefully doesn't have to play, knock on wood. If he can't go, then they'll probably elevate Sam Hartman to go as the third stringer emergency quarterback. Javonte Jean-Baptiste, he is questionable with a shoulder injury, limited all week. I'm sure he'll be good to go. Daron Payne, DNP every single day of practice this week, which is not good. Knee injury, had a finger injury last week. He's still listed as the injury is a knee/finger, but it's not good that he didn't practice at all. But he's questionable, so I'm assuming he gives it a go and he plays in this game. I saw somewhere that, on a Twitter comment that said in an interview, he said he's going to play. So take that with a grain of salt. But I would bet he plays. Biggest game of his career, biggest game of basically all these players' career. I think he's going to be playing. Lattimore didn't practice today, but that was just rest. He was good to go the first 2 days. John Bates, he's good. Clelin Ferrell, Luvu, Sennett, Wagner, all those guys were on the injury report and limited at some point this week. All those guys are good to go. And the Biotish, Coleman, Ertz, Hampton are all good. They're on the injury report. Zaccheaus and McNichols as well. They either had some injuries or whatever, I don't know. But all those guys are good. Zaccheaus had some injury in the game, but he came back. He practiced in full today. And so did Biotish, Coleman, Ertz, Hampton, and McNichols, which is good. Wagner didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday, but he was a limited participant today, does not have an injury designation going into the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So that is good. Eagles, they have way fewer guys on the injury report. At least it looks like it. Their format's a little bit different. So Britton Covey, he is out for this game. That's what it looks like. And then Cam Jurgens, their center, pretty good player. He is questionable for the game. I would assume he plays. That's my guess. But again, you never know. He's obviously going to be banged up. It's a back injury, so there's some injuries that's easier to play through than others. A back injury as an offensive lineman, not too easy to play through, so that could be a factor. AJ Brown, good to go. Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, all of them are good to go. It looks like Byron Young, hamstring, might be out for this game. And Quinyon Mitchell is good to go. Jalen Hurts, good to go. He was a limited participant on Wednesday and then full on Thursday and Friday. So I think he's going to be banged up. He's definitely banged up. He's going to be playing with a knee brace. It's going to affect his mobility, and it's going to make them more one-dimensional, which I think is going to help the Commanders out a lot. Hopefully, you don't have to focus on, you don't have to focus on Hurts running the ball as much as you normally would, which makes it harder for Saquon to really do damage, in my opinion. Saquon's still an incredible player and still probably will really ball out, but that's just something to consider as well with Jalen Hurts' injury there. And then Quinyon Mitchell, he's good to go for the game, their best corner probably, but it's a shoulder injury. I think there's potential injury risk there. I'm not saying the Commanders are going to target him or anything, but if he goes in a tackle, you could see maybe him get out. That's just something to watch out for, more for Eagles fans, because some injuries like that, because the guy got ruled out not quickly, but he was out of the Rams game. I'm not sure why he wasn't able to go back in if it was that serious of an injury, and he's already back. So maybe it was like a stinger or something like that. But I think that's just something to watch out for during the game. I don't think he's going to be limited during the game, but it might be something where he goes in hard for a tackle and it could completely re-injure it for sure. So that's kind of the injury update for both teams. Both teams relatively healthy. Again, Cosme's out, which sucks. But they have Nakobe Dean who's out, so I wouldn't say it cancels out because I think Cosme's more important to this team than Nakobe Dean is, but Nakobe Dean's a good player. So that's a bad loss for them. In the last game, they did not have Dallas Goedert. He's going to be playing in this game. He's hurt. He's banged up with an ankle injury, but he's going to be playing in this game. They also didn't have CJ Gardner-Johnson for like a half or a little less than a half, something like that, because he got ejected. And the Commanders, let's not forget, Eckler wasn't playing in that game, who's one of our best offensive players. I would probably say top four, definitely top three, I would say skill position. You go Terry, besides the quarterback, I would say Terry and then Eckler and maybe Ertz, like they're right there. You can throw in a couple other guys, but Eckler's one of their better offensive players. And then, they were missing John Allen in that game, Noah Brown, who's not a, huge contributor, but still, Noah Brown's not going to be good for this game. Maybe, I don't even know if for the rest of the playoffs, but John Allen will be a good addition, that didn't play in that game, that will play in this game, who had a good week against the Lions, and he's going to have a legacy game. Him and Daron Payne are going to have really good games against Saquon Barkley. Bobby Wagner too is going to have a very good game. We need to limit Saquon as much as possible, and yeah, it's going to take the whole team. It's going to take a village. And it starts with Bobby Wagner, Daron Payne, and John Allen. Those are the main guys. And then you throw in Frankie Lou as well and some of the other guys that are going to fill the gaps, hopefully, and make some tackles. We don't need to limit Saquon to 50, 60 yards. That's going to be very hard to do. But if we can limit him to 4 yards a carry, 4.4 yards a carry, under 5, honestly, is a huge, huge win. Be considering what he usually does. Dan Quinn today, let me pull up the tweet. I'm having issues with my computer setting up a new one, so we'll be switching to that soon. But Dan Quinn talked to the media today. He said this is the best Friday practice we've had this season, and I think that's really, really good to hear. Going into the game that they had a really good day of practice, and they're going to be ready to play this game. And yeah, last game was just a crazy game on both sides. Jalen Hurts got hurt. Gardner-Johnson was ejected. The Commanders had 5 turnovers. The Commanders also had some other injuries in that game. I mean, it just was an interesting game. I think this game will be much more evenly matched for both squads with Hurts playing, but he is going to be injured. Keep that in mind, but I don't want to hear the excuses from the Eagles fans if he's injured. But yeah, the Commanders are going to have be on their A game. It doesn't matter that Jalen's injured. This team, the Eagles, have a very, very good roster. I mean, it's not just Jalen. Of course, they have Saquon, they have Lane Johnson, Mailata, Cam Jurgens is good, Dickerson, Becton. I mean, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, even, Calcaterra is a good backup tight end. They got Dallas Goedert. And then on defense, they got players too. So it's a very good team. And even if Hurts, isn't able to fully play, like if he's, knocked, a little banged up when he's playing, or he just, re-injures, which, could happen, I don't think they're out of the game because that team is that good. So just something to watch out for, but it's good to hear from Dan Quinn that this has been the best practice that they've had all year. And hopefully that momentum goes into the Commanders game against the Eagles. I might adjust my score prediction, but right now I am going to say 30-26 Washington Commanders win at Philly at the Link. Jake Elliott's been a little bit off with those extra points, so I could see him missing an extra point, and that could lead to that 26 point score for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Commanders put up 30 and go to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1991, which that seems it's just crazy to say, but I know everyone's been saying that all week, that it's crazy to say that they could do, but they could do that. But honestly, we just got to this hopefully is going to be the new normal for the Commanders. But thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Huge game in less than 2 days. And I will be probably doing a video tomorrow. And then, of course, Sunday, when that game happens, we'll do a post-game reaction. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And peace.